Hey there. Welcome to Sean O'Hare Week in Review, April 17th, 2022. Hope you had a blessed Easter. Jesus' return from death may be the most important news you'll hear your entire life. Otherwise, the top story this week is the return of
the terror of Twitter Town.
What? The Lord has not given you a spirit of fear. Alright, between inflation rocketing higher than SpaceX and Biden's approval rating going from 60 to 0, faster than reversing a Tesla in ludicrous mode, which I guess would be, so the biggest buzz this week is something old and something blue. Fully 50% of my newsfeed this week has been wall-to-wall Elon Musk Twitter droppings. The Musk tweeter, D'Artagnan Elon, too much. On April 14th, the billionaire of Supersonic on Chronic offered 43 Bs as a hostile takeover buyout bid of all things Twittish. Oh my Gershwin. I do think we have footage from Twitter's last board meeting. Oh, snap. Like I said last week, I love me some Elon. Our Muschiavelli Bruce Wayne Birdman has Twitterati totally twitting their trousers. Even Joe Biden, in a supposedly unrelated event, had a bird twit on him last week while mumble napping to a confused coffee clutch in Iowa.
It's about being made in America. A lot of that.
So yeah, Elon just makes this massive, hostile takeover bid to buy every bit of the twits. What's interesting to me is a lot of these negotiations and comments and back and forth are actually all happening right in public view on Twitter. Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports described the situation like this. Elon has them by the balls. I might put it this way. Elon has them by their itty twiddle baby blue birdberries. Have I mentioned I heart me some Elon? Elon had these things to say.
My strong intuitive sense is that having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization. If in doubt, if it's a gray area, I would say let the tweet exist. I do think that we want to be just very reluctant to delete things and very cautious with permanent bans.
No surprise, leftists everywhere are flipping out. A prominent leftist, tweeted, "I am frightened by the impact on society and politics of Elon Musk acquires Twitter. For democracy to survive, we need more content moderation, not less." More content moderation, not less. More moderation. Well there, Skippy, I guess that depends on who's doing the moderating, doesn't it? Call me kooky. Not so sure you'd be singing that tune if the sock was in the other mouth. To borrow briefly from my format in a previous video, if you believe free speech should be more moderated, you are on the wrong side of history. Another comment on Twitter was, quote-unquote, "I'm going to leave Twitter if Elon takes over" is the new, "I'm going to move to Canada if Trump wins." Flashback to 2016.
If Donald Trump wins, I'm going to be out of the country.
Nothing like liberals making false threats in the wild. Still lives in America. Still lives in America. Still lives in America. Still lives in America. Still lives in America.
Turns out celebrities are full of hot air.
P.S. Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think? Yeah, I really do think.
Under Premier Turdo, Canada became worse than America was under Trump. And that, as they say, is the truth you ever told. Conservative podcaster Ben Shapiro correctly describes what Elon Musk is doing as being heroic, putting his money where his mouth is. And I would say that's all the more true considering that Twitter represents, as Musk describes it, the town square for modern free speech. Twitter is literally where the people's mouth is. And Musk is putting his money there. Once again, alright, moving on from Twitter, but in related news, Elon Musk has publicly stated that there's not enough people on the planet, and the low birth rate is actually dangerous to the future of civilization. On the flip side, Bill Gates has repeatedly warned us that the planet is overpopulated. Side note, if you ask his ex-wife, apparently so was his marriage. But hey, if Mr. Windows says our planet is dangerously overpopulated, okay, Bill, sorry to see you go. Call it COVID-related. The next topic is food fright. When Sleepy Joe is not busy mumbling or farting on the Queen, he's obviously just been fear-mongering. 2 winters ago, he warned us that it was going to be the darkest winter of death yet. And then he followed that up last year with the darkest winter of death part 2. Nothing like having a president instill confidence in the American populace by saying things like, "Don't worry, you're probably just gonna die." Now he's off to the races trying to start a big old food fright. Listen, I don't know if there will be a massive food shortage, though I wouldn't argue as a species we don't deserve one. I mean, when you create something like 5W30 and peanut butter pickle flavored Lay's, aren't you basically spitting in the faces of the food gods at that point? For the record, no. Though I clearly pack a little extra grease on my bacon, I do not worship a food god. I don't. Don't look at me like fat. That. Okay, fine. Maybe I'm what could be best described as food god agnostic, which basically means I don't know if there really is in the universe a good reason not to have seconds. But if there was such a thing as a culinary deity, or a fine food fairy, a snack food saint, you know his name would be Trader Joe. Between rampant inflation and famine forecasts, maybe there is some cause for concern. I mean, last I checked, the line at Chick-fil-A is only 1 block long now. What is with this guy? He talks about food more than Jim Gaffigan. I am sorry, but if Trader Joe's ever runs out of chocolate sea salt, almond breast milk covered pretzels, you better have your affairs in order, because Jesus is coming soon. That's 4 horsemen stuff right there. Plagues, rumors of war, empty shelves at TJ's, no line at Chick-fil-A on a day that's not a Sunday. That is end of days stuff. That's the end of days. Rapture now, rapture now.